Hello everybody, this is Vincent, aka BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that out in the actual edited, or more like edited down version. But yeah, I had a little bit of a failure here. So, hello. Anyway, how's it going? Hello Alyssa, how's it going? So, last time, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened last time. If I'm remembering correctly, well, we're trying to solve the mystery of murder with the cart, and we still have no idea. Like, I have a hunch about who it is, but I'm just going to hold off. I've noticed that with a lot of Phoenix Wright episodes, the first ones tend to be kind of straightforward, and you can kind of guess who it is. The last ones, they throw you right for a loop. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and fade that out, and we are going to begin. There we go. Head over to the capture. Oh, and also bring up the audio. That would be bad if I didn't do that. Let me see. Hold on a second. Did I pick the right one? Yes, continue. I believe we're heading directly into the trial. Yep. Okay, the next day of trials. June 17th, 9:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. This is it. The big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 o'clock a.m. or so. Oh, what time did you wake up? 3 o'clock a.m. Hey, that sounds like me as of late with sleep. Actually, I lie. I've been doing a little bit better. I don't know. I've been trying to readjust my sleep schedule because it's been stupid as all hell. So I'm actually going to sleep and waking up at reasonable hours. It's a miracle. Night jobs will do that to you. It's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. Yeah, I guess. And your freaky mannequin. And the amazing Mr. Hat! Who's looking at you, kid? Good luck today, Apollo. Who's this? That voice. Hey, Phoenix! Hey, get any sleep? Mr. Wright! I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochine pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy! Do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? That Sherman tank of a mom. No, guess again. Oh, that's too bad. Speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's early morning and you're already at it, Trucy. Don't pressure me. I can't find love. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Oh boy. This is gonna be bad. Either this or this is gonna be the end of the trial. Alita Tiala, your client's fiancée. She's going to be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today. That much is clear. Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. Yes, that is the important part of this entire... The fact that, your nethers are covered. If we can find a killer, I'll pull one out of there. Magic panties. Again, thank you, Japan. June 17th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Magic panties. No excuses. It could have been a magic hat, and you know it. Court is now in session for the trial of Waki Kataki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And again, I would like to preach this with you guys. I'm thinking I'm just going to go with a more breathy, closer to the mic voice for this guy. I don't care about accents all that much anymore. I think it'll do. So something along the lines of, prosecution is warmed up, and it's a sold-out house. Something like that. And maybe I'll get some inflections on a couple of words. Does that sound fine? I just feel like it's a little bit embarrassing to try and do an accent and fail horribly at it. That works? Thank Christ. Anyways, very well, to recap. Actually, again, I don't think I've actually done an ASMR type of voice for the stream, so it's kind of ass backwards. A lot of screaming, not a lot of ASMR.
While yesterday's witness seems more guilty than any other party,
Guilty of panty snatching.
we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant.
Correct, Herr Judge. And today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside.
The outside?
The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed.
Oh, good. Besides, if it was a hat, how could they mess with a pot? I mean, I know. I know, I'm a stickler and I make a joke, but I guess it's a good joke.
His betrothed?
His fiancée, Herr Judge. His partner for life, with no chance for parole.
Very well. You may show the, lucky lady to the stand.
Yep, and now it's time to crack this, this little melon.
Your name and occupation, Fraulein?
Alita Tialo. My occupation is future wife. What an occupation. I guess she doesn't aspire to do much of anything else aside from, mob money.
Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave basket blindfolded underwater.
How old-fashioned are you, Judge?
You're here today as a witness for the prosecution?
To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first. But I couldn't hide the truth.
Honesty. Another admirable trait. Horseshit.
He's from 100 AD. That's about right.
Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Waki Kitaki, confessed his plans? His plans for murder?
Yes, again, horseshit.
The witness will please give her testimony or her horseshit to the court.
Waki's plan. It was the day that the family health checkup result came back. When Waki found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. "I'll teach him," he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it.
So the pistol did belong to the Kitaki family, then?
Yes. With regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kitaki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms.
And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it?
Fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes. This has been proven.
How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Yes, we learned this from the previous games. Rifling marks?
Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, left on every bullet it fires.
And when did you first hear about Waki's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it.
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Okay. What was the contradiction in that? I am absolutely not sure. But, hold up. Saves times. Just to be secure. It was the day that the family health checkup result came back. That was the day of the murder, correct? Yes, everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Waki looked at his face went so pale.
But of course he just found out he had a bullet in his chest.
So, you were there at the time? Yes. Poor Waki. When Waki found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. Man. That must have been, quite frightening. He was furious. You don't seem all that too sad about it. He was furious. He ripped his report up into shreds.
Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I performed without a complaint.
Walky's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper. You usually grow out of that. Okay, how... I have to check this. 19! You're usually past that by 19. No. Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute.
Great. Now he sounds like a psychopath.
I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols.
So, is it easy to take a pistol out from the house?
Not really. I think there's a system in place to limit access. But Walky's a special case, being the next in line.
Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, yeah?
Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone. What? Why do either of those exist? And okay, switchblade made out of chewing gum. That feels like that's something that you don't want to get stuck to itself when you're in a heated situation. Where the hell do you find chocolate gravestone? Some random ass chocolatier out in the middle of nowhere?
Sounds like he had a taste for sweets and danger.
The point here being that Walkie had access to a pistol.
Well said, Judge. Who cares? And you already know what happened that night. No, I don't! Explain it in clear detail.
What happened?
Meaning the murder. Mario says, I think they're just sweets designed to look like a switchblade. Oh, okay. So it's like candy cigarettes. Feels kind of useless if it can't stab someone. But hey, I don't know. I tried to stop him. I really did. But Walkie wouldn't listen.
Our defendant was nothing if not determined, it seems.
The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss.
Why? All of the pretty ones get so much treatment. I just don't want to see how anyone... I don't see how anyone but Walkie could have done it. Okay, why?
How could you say that for certain? How?
Oh boy.
Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Walkie, was it, who took the pistol from his home? We know this for a fact now.
I suppose we do.
So, how could anyone else have used the pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah?
That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point?
Could someone else have used that pistol?
Well, let me think about this.
No.
There. That wall is gonna get smashed by his fist. Yes, very much. Give it a couple of cases. I'm sure he's gonna get really pissed off.
You could have, Mr. Wright!
He's already been in hot water. Like, how many times in one game can Phoenix Wright be, because it seems like every single freaking game, albeit like one or two, I think, where it's just like, oh, Phoenix Wright, he's a murderer. It's like, okay, thank you. Could someone else have used the pistol? Well, let's think about the evidence real quick. 2 rounds were fired, fingerprints were wiped, so I guess it could be anybody, considering there are no fingerprints on it. And there is no indication of a specific hand. 2 rounds were fired, fingerprints were wiped. So this really does, I think this really does come down to who could have possibly gotten the gun. And the only person I could think would even be able to even get the gun are people within the Walkie family. So, Plum Kitaki, I don't know why she would do that. Wilfred Kitaki could have. Alita would have been one of the people in there that could have done it too. Stealthily, if she could. But I think I'm just going to try it. There was another. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol.
Oh, what's this?
Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with the access was.
Oh, good. You're gonna make me work for this. What other part of the, oh god, what other part of the, testimony would that have been that specified it? I'm trying to remember the order of events here. So, the order of events is that he found out about, the whole thing. I don't want to just jump right to conclusions because the first person I think that did it is Aaliyah. But I don't know if the game is just trying to hint at me, just being like, could be somebody else. Like Winfred, fourth boss of the Kitaki family, Walky's father, trying to get out of the gangster business. I mean, he would have been the person who would have had, like, top priority for being able to get a gun. And if he found out that there was still a bullet in his son's chest, I might be thinking too hard about this. I don't know. Also, I don't want to get the mob angry at me, but
What's this?
well, the boss and his wife. Oh, it could have been his wife too. Nice.
Ah, an unexpected ploy.
Apollo, that can't be right. Why would they want to frame their only son? Oh,
On his parents' behalf, I'd like to give you a penalty. Oops. Gah. Carry on, Mr. Justice.
poor Miss Tiala. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in her position. I'm a little more concerned for her fiancé. Why would she testify against him like this? Oh, okay, alright. I think I understand what they were trying to make me do in the first place. I think the entire hint is that she would be biased and she would be interested in getting him in jail. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Sure. One other person could have done it. And the only other person that wouldn't be the parents would have to be the only other person that was in there at the time. Who knew about it. Well, of course, I mean... you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning!
Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé? And killed a man in cold blood on his behalf?
Maybe?
I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this?
It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder.
Crazy, bitches be cray, alright? I hope we do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé.
That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here?
You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Tiala, and the victim. Aha! Yes. Oh, it's funny because the game is really laying on thick the clues here. Walky's checkup report. Let's see. And I think I checked it before. Actually, no, it wasn't this. It was, where was it? Here we go. Walky's chart, which specifically labels that the nurse was Alita.
That looks like a medical chart.
Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart.
What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart?
Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Our warm little fiancés just froze over. I was on staff at the clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Oh my... Mario says, oh my god, I can read!
Miss Giala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim.
And I don't. Now.
Now?
I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right?
That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love past...
There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in court of law. Doesn't fly? She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Katakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true? But you remain connected somehow.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic.
Oh, that's a good question. What would link those two? Let me see. Found Maractus Clinic safe. Squished from impact with the back of the safe. I don't even... I mean, well, hold on a second. We never really were told specifically where it was that they were breaking into. So I'm kind of wondering where the... Oopsies! I pressed the wrong button!
Your forehead, this trail you think you have found... Oh, wait, the trail you think you have found doesn't lead to the truth. Nor to a long career in the legal profession, yeah?
Gee, thanks!
Perhaps you'll allow me to do the honors?
Why not? Might be nice for a change.
Most excellent. Let's rock.
Penalty!
Oh, damn it. I'll take the usual penalty next time, thanks.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Try again.
Damn it, I pressed the freaking X button instead of the... Okay, alright, Sorry. Show evidence that proves the witness is still connected. So, it's not the bullet. We've proven that. The witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic. Well, Well, we kind of proved that these things were found there, and we found sandals. Present from Waki, found in Maractus Clinic foyer. Big toe print found on left sandal. I think this might be it, because it clearly shows us like, hi, you were literally there. Yep, these sandals were found in the I keep trying to say meerkat. Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Well, who knows? I'm sure there are a lot of people with those sandals. I mean, they're very ritzy.
So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you.
What's with you? I thought you were on my side.
Perhaps you are unaware that those toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all.
Oops. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with your... from the beginning. Son of a bitch. I just wanted you to help get Waki back on the straight and narrow.
This court thinks you need to worry less about Waki and more about yourself. Sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story.
Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you were there on the day of the murder. Well, there's a little point in denying it.
Very well. The witness will tell us about the visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day?
That's a good question. Like, what the heck is she getting checked up for? I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man. Too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. Dark secrets.
By mistake, you mean the mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation?
He was a timid, small man, but I never wished him any harm there. I just thought I should let him know, you know?
That does make sense.
Yes, but there's still one thing which does not.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home.
I would have worn those sandals home, too.
Oh, God. The judge in those sandals. Nope. Brain freeze.
So why were the sandals left behind?
He pointed out the contradiction before me.
There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for
Don't make excuses for her. Come on.
there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there, which you wore home by mistake.
I look good in them. What?
Yes. Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. It's so... No.
Oh, it's nothing. There's, after all, no other possible explanation. Yaw, forehead?
Oh, what the... No fair. He's filling the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination, while I cross-dress.
Cross-examination, the Maractus. Yeah, I did go to the clinic that day. I'm not doing good. I'm gonna save. I'm already down 2 points.
Around what time did you go to the clinic?
I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think.
And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year?
Of course it was. Thank you. I try hard.
Cross-dressing. I have a boudoir of dresses.
He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with.
So why did you go to the clinic that day?
Actually, yeah, go ahead and let that sit in your brain. That robe covers up some creepy shit. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol.
Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away?
Well, after I failed to stop Waki, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem.
Couldn't you have called Wygo in person?
I called several times that evening, but no one was in.
The victim was busy driving home until after 9 o'clock p.m. that night, remember? This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah?
I thought if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake.
You mean that act of malpractice on Waki, correct?
If he just told Waki the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened.
True, that operation was the start of this whole affair.
Oh, of course, if he'd told him, he might have been erased by the Kitakis much earlier.
A disturbing thought.
We know that the Maractus Clinic had ties to the Kitaki family.
He probably couldn't have gone to the police, even if he wanted to. That's why I knew I had to warn him. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secret. Why am I pressing this?
I guess. No dark secrets, eh?
What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing.
She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too.
You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend.
But then you'd be betraying Waki, wouldn't you?
No, I did it for him. For us.
She went to warn him so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah?
I didn't want them to take my Waki away.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him.
Do you know why she went, Apollo?
Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. Alright. So.
I'm just gonna say, because I don't know. I don't know if maybe I passed over some piece of dialogue, but... Anyway. This is kind of sticking out to me. I'm not hiding any dark secrets. What dark secret are they referring to here? Results from checkup performed at June. I mean, why else would she have gone? What dark secrets would they be specifying? Broken bulb, red stain on the cord. I'm still confused by that red stain thing. I don't. Then again, maybe this isn't it. Because, well, it says nothing about the shoes in here. I thought maybe if it had something to do with the shoes, the sandals would be the next thing, but... Or, you know, the slippers, as they were. Yeah, I still think it might be this. But what? I mean, there's this bullet, but I don't freaking... Found in the Maractus Clinic, safe squished from impact with the back of the safe. That doesn't really seem like that's connected. I mean, I feel like that would be a faux pas if it was this again, but it would fit. Just saying, like, I'm not hiding any dark secrets. You worked on this thing. You're clearly hiding, so I don't know. But... I don't know, the knife wouldn't be anything. Not the bowl. Trucy's panties. That's a pretty dark secret. Maractus' autopsy report. Cause of death, single bullet to the right temple. Nah. Don't think so. Maybe it's not that. I don't know. I can't think of anything that's connecting it. Alright, let me think through this. I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year. Since I quit in January. Seems pretty factual. I don't know. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. That makes sense with her bluff. The doctor always was a timid man. Too timid to admit his own mistake. We've already... we've already discussed the fact that, yes... He did make that mistake, and you know that's out in the air now. It's not like that's anything weird. Why else would I have gone? I'm not holding any dark secrets. Well, I feel like I probably have the proof of that dark secret, and I need to show it off. But I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. Yeah, it really feels like this would be. But then what would be the piece of evidence? Secret is my badge. I'm not gonna try that. No. I like my health. Thank you very much. I enjoy having that little bit of green bar. I mean, the hidden... Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I feel like this might tie right back into, the fact that there's a bullet in the chest. Let me check this. Waki, okay. Report filed June 14th. Metallic object found near heart. Urgent exam needed. I feel like I'm just gonna have to try this. That's the only thing that, like, directly connects for me. And again, I've already shown this, so this... And we have not even discussed what this bullet even is, so... Meh? Nope! Shit.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It clearly contradicts the I thought. You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Okay, so it's not that. I've already pressed everything. Unless, maybe now that I have gone and pressed a bunch of things, maybe something in this little tree of dialogue has been opened up. Let me think about this. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. Does that open up anything previous? I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. Did go, nah. Everything makes sense. Torn off the car that hit Mr. Wright. Fitz' car at the Maractus Clinic. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. With the mirror, maybe? Because that seems to be a pretty significant thing that happened that night at the same time. And they might want to keep that under wraps. Victim died pulling it. Yeah, I feel like that's off kilter. Screw it. That's right! What? Okay, fine. I was just like, it's either this or this. Okay, apparently it's that one. That, again, faux pas. But whatever. This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office. Yes. Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you?
Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes.
That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away.
Bad air, Doctor.
And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Walkie's failed operation.
Interesting.
You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? Well, I get it now, but shit. You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents.
This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly.
Too bad, little attorney. Yeah. Got something hidden in body language. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet vibrate just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo.
Yeah.
What's my bracelet reacting to? Clearly you have a thing for the person on the witness stand. Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it!
What has to be it?
Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine! For somebody who has absolutely no senses before all this nonsense happened, I doubt it. I can't see it, but you can sense it.
I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything.
Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is.
Well, then, what do we do?
You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down this testimony. Okay, why to go to the clinic now? Half a year old chart. Alright, why would I go to the clinic? Hello. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, her ring is slightly twitching there. Gotcha. Yes? Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart? Now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? Again, none of this is actually, fileable in the court of law, but whatever. Seriously, no forehead? Do you need some water? Yes. She was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now.
Just,
I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this.
and it would have to be the new checkup.
A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this?
Nothing. Why should I think anything?
Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Walkie's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you.
Dick! Oh, feathers. Well, she's broken, ladies and gentlemen.
But what does this all mean, eh? That's all, Your Honor.
What just happened? Was nobody involved with that? Did I just stare her down and just she broke? Like I psychically sent her messages. I wouldn't put it past this game though. That might actually happen.
Did the witness just admit to lying?
I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems.
That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic, but her connection was deep indeed. A bit too deep. If the Katakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala?
You guessed it.
We got it in. Order! Order! I did it. I broke her testimony.
Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait!
Miss Tiala?
It's true that chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Walkie and went home.
It appears this cross-examination is far from over.
What?
She hid the truth from us, this is clear. Yet, it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand.
Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. I was so close.
You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left.
How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning?
Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky, even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn a Kataki was after them?
Incidentally, the court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday right here in this courtroom.
A fake one, and I think everybody freaked out.
Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir.
Mr. Hat, oh god. Alright, so immediately Mr. Hat from South Park popped into my head. Mr. Hat.
After which I carried you back to your chambers.
Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. He's like a fainting goat. Mr. Hat is the killer, yes. Yeah, I would actually agree with that.
Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus' office that day, huh?
But what about that mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo.
I know. But we can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved.
Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him.
Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened to the clinic and fast. Yep. Kirsty looks so cute holding him. Okay, so nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. Alright, so doing fairly okay right now. I'm gonna save. Alright. What would be a good piece of evidence to show off here? Well, okay, there's the bullet. Found at the Maractus Clinic safe, squished from impact with the back of the safe, which I guess that could potentially be something. I feel like, okay, found in the Maractus Clinic office with a broken bulb and a red stain on the cord. It could be either one of these, because both of them show some kind of wear involved in some kind of a scuffle. Kind of want to try the bullet. Yes! Alright. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office? I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? Looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kinda like you, actually. Waka waka! This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala! Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. But this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? I guess the police didn't check that far. But there's a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? Good job. The pistol was taken from the Kitaki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in the office on the day of the murder. Not bad, forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. Cross your fingers, everyone. 30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical! We got it. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Snap. Snap. Snippity. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position. The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Yay, more fingers, more pointing at the clearly guilty woman. Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kataki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him, and then the bullet finally reached its destination? That reminds me. Apparently, the Katakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will. Nefarious! So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on his fortune? Oh, now she's got a thing to say about that, I guess. No, hey! You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you, lawyer man! Get off the stand, you fuckhead. Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too. There in that park. Waki, cool down a second. You keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll... Oh, you bitch. Miss Tiala? I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've laughed so hard.
Something funny?
Maki, wake up and smell reality.
Hey, Alita, baby.
The signature on the chart, the engagement. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself.
Alita.
Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein.
Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway.
So, the family fortune is what you're really after?
That's right. I wanted the money. Yep. I kind of saw this coming basically the second that they I don't know. It was the second I saw her and she started talking. It was just being like, you're seedy.
No way! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that!
Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question?
Who, me?
I believe you said you were going to abuse me.
Accuse. You daft people.
Of what crime, might I ask?
Huh?
Oh, I'm a bad girl. Sure, I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I've already left the clinic.
What?
I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat.
Wait, but what are you talking about? Trucy? You had the most to lose if this chart was found!
But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, we don't know that.
Well, you could have taken Waki's.
You'd think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is, it was me. I shot him.
That's only because he's trying to protect you.
Jesus.
Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation.
No, it's fine. I'm cool with you breaking in and stopping this horrible, little tiff fight.
But the two of you are forgetting one critical point.
What point?
Certainly, the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor in opening that safe. But then, wouldn't she have taken the chart?
Oh.
You see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe.
Yeah, he's right. Miss Chiala.
Yes?
It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget.
We've proven... Okay, wait. Was this supposed to be Apollo's or the judge's line? That might have been a mistake. Don't forget. We've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. Well, let's see. What's the actual story? Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. Okay, well, I like all of the flavor text that you handed me. A whole lot of things to shoot down.
You went back later?
That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day.
But you couldn't get the chart then, could you?
And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. Noisy feet with the cops all over the place.
That was you? Thump.
Apollo, that sound, it came from behind this door. Yep, I remember that. Someone's in there. I remember, I had to actually check the door for that little bit of dialogue to actually pop up. Oh, break in. They left through the window. how'd she find out the combination to the safe? I just realized, yeah. How'd she figure that out? We'll get to that.
So you were the burglar.
That was you two? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What? That's trespassing! And brazen at that!
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
Boo. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination.
Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh?
Mm-hmm. We'll pin her on something, I'm sure. Again, I saw a couple of things in there where I'm like, that's a lot of details. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor.
Why that day?
That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park.
I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, huh?
No, Gumshoe!
Kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually.
Admitting a small crime to avoid a big one. Mask to mask anyone? Yeah, that's about right. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later.
Later?
When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
Ruh-roh. But why did Dr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Can you? Is that legal? Is it legal? Well, I mean, I suppose they do a lot of illegal shit here, so that wouldn't have mattered. Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on the chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you?
But you could have stolen it? But you could have. She would have. Oh, she absolutely should have done it.
What proof is that? Could have? Is this some new definition of proof? Yeah.
Well, ask Walkie. He'll tell us.
No, he won't.
Might I remind you, this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself.
He's right, isn't he? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime.
Yeah, but...
But what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further? Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not.
The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes?
Oh, don't say that. No, ask her something obscure, just being like, what side of the head? And then she would have had to figure it out.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple.
Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. With a creepy pervert. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot.
It's the left side.
But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit the right temple.
Silly, silly attorney.
What?
Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning?
Do you remember, Trucy? How should she know?
I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The Panties guy was mistaken. I mean, we have footprints to prove this, right?
But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken.
Teleportation, apparently. Cool.
Then why don't you show us your forehead?
Show you what?
Must I explain everything? Very well. Let's recap. If the witness, Panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim?
But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple?
I merely laid out the facts for us. It's up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us.
Stop pointing out my shiny forehead, you bastard!
If you can, that is.
Walkie-talkie was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark. And of course, Palmaractus was at the victim mark.
What do I think of Clavier? Again, very suave, smooth rocker kind of guy. I actually kind of imagine he would have a softer voice outside of him doing singing.
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim?
Interesting. You like how he's not an asshole and more friendly. Yeah, I'm getting that kind of vibe. I mean, he pokes fun, but at the very least, he seems to be a cool dude. All right. That, and he's also pointing out contradictions, unless they're in his favor. But let me think. So, if he was shot in the right temple, I guess that would indicate that he was. Okay. I'm thinking about this. Supposedly, okay, killer, located at the, Walkie is at the killer mark. Victim, Maractus. The witness is Panty Snatcher. So I guess the only place I could possibly think would be somewhere to the top. If it's like the right, you'd have to turn. And then the bullet would have to come from somewhere to the right of his location. And depending on where his head is, I mean, that could be smushed in between the rock of some kind, or maybe it's like inside the stand. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place.
Apparently Mr. Justice does.
I don't know if I do, but I'm saving. V is facing forward and then turns to W. Yep. So his head and his right temple would be facing either the stand or in between the stand and the rock. Something like that.
Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from?
It's time to raise the roof and the stakes.
Yeah, okay.
Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying?
Oh boy. Yep, that's good.
Like so.
Double penalty!
And that's an entire penalty for me.
Our forehead wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead.
Oh boy.
Challenge accepted. It's justice time.
Are you sure, Apollo? key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. I love the frame rate. I'm sure that was like the fastest frame rate they could possibly have done with the DS. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. Huh? And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no! Oh yes! Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, towards the noodle stand! Order! 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 Noodles! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Exactamundo, Your Honor.
Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand? Which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'd think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? I mean, that's a good question. I still haven't figured that out.
Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the noodle stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in the stand.
Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Do I have the proof that somebody was in the stand? I need to look at the court record. What proof would there be that there was somebody inside the noodle stand at the time? Would it be? I don't know. Let me take a look at this. Well, okay, this is the angle that we would have seen the noodle stand, and also the print would have been somewhere located down here, if my memory is, doing me any favors. Actually, how do you get inside this thing? Is it literally just you hop through the front? I guess that would be it. I don't see any other doors. How do I prove that someone was inside the noodle stand at the time? Well, let me think about all the other evidence, eh? There's just a part of me that feels like I can't prove this. Unless there was something I found at one point that proves, without a doubt, that somebody was in there. There wasn't like a bullet hole inside the noodle stand at one point, was there? And even if there was, that's a tarp on it. I don't think we would find anything. I can't zoom into it. And the only thing I can check is the words on the side that say, noodle! I saved. So I'm just going to see what happens when I say, well, too bad! Well, too bad! Kidding! Just kidding. I've got it. Whoo, close one. That doesn't usually work in the court of law, Mr. Apollo. Then let's see it. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. Okay. Noted, there is some kind of proof. What would be the proof? What would be the proof? Slippers used by the patients at the Miraculous Clinic. Big toe print found. Nah, there's nothing indicating that it ever got inside the noodle stand. Bowl. Custom-made Eldoon noodle bowl decorated with the Eldoon noodle mascot. And I don't think there is anything on this thing that proves anything. Little personal touches. When I touch it, the paint flaked off. He must have painted it on by hand with warm professional care. After buying the cheapest paint he could find with cold professional thrift. Yep. The same thing with the one on the inside, because that might be paint poisoning of some kind. Let's see. No. I mean, there's nothing like directly outlining anything to do with the stand. How do I prove that somebody was inside the noodle stand at the time? Found in the Miraculous Clinic. No. Because the noodle stand's original position was located on the street. Maybe. No. Nothing about the map could possibly say anything about that, right? That would be dumb. Let's see. Miraculous Clinic and the Eldoon. No, I don't think anything to do with the map. Yeah, I'm a little bit stumped on this one. How do you prove that someone was inside the noodle stand at the time? Again, the only thing I could possibly think to identify would be a bullet hole of some kind, but... I guess I could throw up the noodle stand and see if it'll get me anywhere. Eek. Thoughts, Prosecutor Gavin?
We have a choice between heaven or hell. Either our brains are damaged, or our foreheads is. I wonder which it is.
This court finds Mr. Justice brains faulty. By majority vote. Crap.
Okay, that doesn't work out. Proof that someone was in the frickin' noodle... I'm pretty sure it's not my attorney's badge. Well, I can't fingerprint something now. That's for sure. I can only think the slippers, because that's the one thing sort of tying it all together, but Holy shit! Okay, that works. The Miraculous Clinic, and they're covered with paint. I'm so confused. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiala. Your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand! I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case. I mean, that kind of proves that she had her slippers on over there, but I don't know if that proves she was inside it.
Yet there was only one slipper marked found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith?
Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path.
Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, huh?
Why not?
You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground?
That's just dumb.
One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle marketing trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there.
How do you prepare the noodle stand if somebody can't be inside it?
You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Apollo, I think I might be onto something. Please do tell. I'm confused. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Oh, I said... It's one freaking... That seems silly. One single bowl, and that was all you needed?
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand?
I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's Noob's Nude Stand. No.
Yes, and what about it?
We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. Oh. There we go. I thought it was just one bowl. Okay, never mind. That makes sense now. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. Oh boy.
A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic?
Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was a space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! Are we done? I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. Ouch. That hurts. I imagine his pickup lines are absolutely dreadful. Like the neckbeard kind of thing.
I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
Regardless, in any case, it's just irrelevant. Jesus. The defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to, to do the deed, I'm assuming.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case.
This should be an interesting... Why pull the freaking stand? I don't understand. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. That does not explain anything. You knew about the botched operation. So you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last... Is it? Is it really? Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. Perceive, eh? See if we can find any more nervous twitches. Or something. Oh, and I also have only one chance to do all of this nonsense. Okay, so it's glowing. So I guess I could check any of the parts of this thing for possible twitches. That throws a wrench in things, that's for sure. That night I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. Alright. So you did go to steal that chart. Were you listening? I said I asked him for it.
The victim was a man in good health. I don't see how she could have coerced him.
True, it would have been impossible without a pistol.
What if she did have a pistol? I'll admit I wanted the chart. That much is true. My reason was simple. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. Certainly would have put a damper on your wedding plans, I'd say. Not only that, if the Kitakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus now, pulling that great noodle stand in the sky.
Seems our witness was in a fix as well.
Who would want to die pulling a noodle stand? When I die, it'll be by disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act. Good to know. Good to make plans, at least. Can we be a little less morbid, please? So you say. I needed that chart. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand.
He didn't understand?
He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. I thought, what a sad excuse for a man. Please don't smile like that anymore, it's creepy. It was practically delusional. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. It's reasonable enough.
They sent you?
He thought the Katakis had sent me to get the chart. It makes some sense. You are their son's fiancé. Don't make me laugh. The Katakis send me. They don't play that way. If they'd known about that chart, they would have gone in there with guns blazing. I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
If that was if that was really all that happened, what were all the noodle bowls doing there?
How should I know? There weren't any bowls when I went, I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killer someplace else, alright? Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance. Apollo, any word from your bracelet?
Yeah, actually.
I felt it respond. I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo.
Time to perceive the truth. Here comes justice!
Alright, well... The bad news is that my bracelet is reacting to all of her freaking testimony. So I think I just need to be very specific about which one I am going to be picking out here. Well, if I had to take a guess, it'd probably be this one, because this is very vague, and there's a bit of uncertainty in her voice. So I give up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
Gotcha.
Oh, really? That ruffling of your neckerchief says otherwise.
All I did was talk and lie.
What? Show me proof. Pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away.
The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words.
My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? Again, this does not fit in with court policy, but fuck it. This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. Seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. This series has a magic rock that shows secrets. At least it didn't happen in court. That's my problem. You know, at least that was happening outside of the realms of the actual courtroom. This doesn't hold up with law at all. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. I'd have to guess it was probably the lamp. What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out! This is talking in circles This talking in circles nonsense is killing me! The difference is, she's still doing these twitches showing her lies. The power just lets Apollo... I mean, yeah. Again, I'm just sort of making the joke that I'm pretty sure in a real court of law, if somebody were to scratch their neck, you can't just point and go, hey, you're scratching your neck. Lies! I know there's a psychology behind it, but legally, does that make sense? The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. Uh-oh. Dang, shit. She is lying, so it work. Begrudgingly, I say yes. Alright, go ahead. Take the scarf off.
This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. We seem to have drifted off target.
We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting. As soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it! This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove me.
Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No! No! Uh-oh. Okay, so was she choked out with the lamp? I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Holy shit!
Your neck! That isn't what I think it is!
Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it.
But wait! Look at this lamp and the witness's neck. It looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Maractus, and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Aha, so he's not quite as spineless as we think, eh? Oh god, her chest is... Yep, chest is taken off. Cool. Well, interesting.
Order! 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 Will someone please tell me what's really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you.
It looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
Take and save your own skin.
What?
Yeah, I know what you're up to. You walked in with the family, and if they see that chart, you're finished. Even me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I want some company. You!
And that's what happened next. Oh, wait, and what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took the cord. Oh boy, this was almost a murder. Pal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. Well, there we go. This doesn't solve the actual murder, though.
So, you were the victim?
And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick.
I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There. Are you happy now? No. I was out cold. Almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand? But how could I? Yeah. I love the shocked Apollo face.
Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? Probably not.
Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this...
Ooh. Nope. Mr. Rockstar over here has got an objection.
Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock.
What?
Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way?
Prosecutor Gavin.
Pal Maractus choked Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next?
He's right. There is more we don't know.
But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while.
Even still, what if it was in her... what was her in that noodle stand? Huh. Oh.
Lita Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand.
And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night.
Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet.
You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Oopsies. Oh, I dropped the, I dropped the DS. Here, it's fine. Yep, initializing capture device. Derpity. Oh, come on. Hold up. It's a finicky cable. There. It's the first time that's happened.
Me, Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth.
Well, let's go back over what we've learned up until now. On the day of the murder, Walkie saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So, he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine.
And Miss Tiala heard about this from Walkie, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature.
But then,
something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold.
But what about Dr. Maractus?
That does seem to be the problem. He just strangled Alita Tiala. Perhaps he thought to death.
He's a doctor! How did he not know that she wasn't dead? Unless this is one of those cases where somebody actually did die for a period of about 30 minutes and then came back. That's happened before.
What did he do after his crime?
I was just knocked out, not dead.
From the state of his clinic and the scene of the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Forehead, care to guess?
Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do?
Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala.
Do I have evidence to show what he did next?
What did he do next? I mean, the next obvious choice for me is he would have taken her and stuffed her into the noodle stand to, like, roll her, like, as a means of trying to roll her that direction. But what piece of evidence would prove that? I mean, I guess it would be the noodle stand.
As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Aldoon's noodle stand.
What? Killing me disturbed him that much? To steal an old bum's noodle stand? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? Yep.
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer?
Oh! Oh, and he's got a grudge on him! Holy shit.
Bowls that belonged inside that stand. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place.
Oh, wait, you don't mean...
I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something.
Your corpse, Miss Tiala!
My corpse! Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he killed you.
His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
Then let's think about it, logistically. Huh?
The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should run into but the defendant, Walkie to Takakak?
I question your logic.
What's this, Prosecutor Gavin?
The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with?
That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Nope. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end?
Unless the park was his destination. What?
Apparently, the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragged that night?
Where was the victim dragging that stand? Okay, where was he dragging it? You know, the river is like right the hell over here. I feel like... Well, okay, that is a river, right? Is that... I think it is. I would have to take a guess it might be that. Considering, like, that's the direction it's being pulled.
That's a river!
Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why.
A perfect place to dispose of a body.
If you have plenty of weight.
He was gonna throw me into that river?
He didn't have many other options, Fraulein.
I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand, and the defendant before him.
And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then, the denouncement. Wesley Stickler, of panty-snatching fame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts in that instant. Yes, yes. But she's awake in there. That'd be almost a sexy pose if it weren't for the gun. So, I shot him? You were the only one who could have stolen Walkie's pistol. It had to be you.
Well, Miss Tiala?
Nice work. You mean, I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming! Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. Feel like, nah, not quite enough facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? There's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak.
Where of what?
I can't believe she's still trying to deny this.
Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin?
Must I always be the one to point out our forehead's errors?
Maybe there really is something.
I believe the Fraulein speaks of a doctor's car.
His car? That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. Point.
And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And our defense without a case.
I have an idea. I have an idea. I think we both have the same idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. Oh. It's not the idea I had, Trucy, but good job.
Oh, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy.
Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car.
Oh, yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it.
Afterwards, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine.
That's right. So, why didn't he use his beloved sports car?
A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead.
No. No! I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. Can I say the idea?
Order, order, order. Turn off this pop punk. This is making me sick. Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body?
Is that a groan of surrender I hear?
Yeah, maybe.
Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days?
Everything I've learned?
Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance, really. The defense will explain to us what happened that night.
Someone else stole the stand. Car didn't run. Carried the body in the car. None of these are the option I thought. I thought we could prove this by saying he had a grudge, but never mind. Well, doesn't make too much sense. Why would he carry the body in the... why would he first try and carry the body in the car and then try and carry it in the noodle stand? I don't get that. I'm starting to think that maybe someone else stole the stand first. Oh, hello, Franco. How's it going? Anyway, yeah, I'll save first because I don't have a lot of choices here. I'm going to say someone else stole the stand somehow.
Actually, it was someone else who stole the stand. But then, why was the victim pulling it? Well, he would have had to steal it from someone else. We're back to where we started, Mr. Justice.
Was that an explanation for why he didn't use the car?
I'll ask you again.
Okay, now this is truly my last chance. All right.
The defense will explain to us what happened. Okay.
Wow. Check in later. Hi. Okay, cool. I guess that means he carried the body in the car first. The victim used the car to carry the body.
So you're throwing out everything until you've proven... everything you've proven up until now?
Well, if the car wasn't broken...
I admire your adaptability in the face of impossible odds. Yet, this does not explain why he was pulling that stand.
What's going on? Is Prosecutor Gavin trying to tell me something? Perhaps we need to ask you... Oh my god, I've had 3 last chances 3 times in a row.
So wait, the car didn't run? How? I have an idea.
Good. It's good to see somebody has an idea. It's all coming together. I don't see it.
That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put 1 and 1 together, and the explanation is simple.
If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence? Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night.
I mean... I could understand the idea of the car not being safe to run because the mirror is broken. But...
this is proof of why the car broke down that night? Well, Prosecutor Gavin...
it's proof of a malfunction, all right. A malfunction in a forehead's brain.
The court accepts this evidence.
Damn it. Well, it was going to happen eventually tonight.
That's enough. I see no need to to further prolong this trial. Defense case is inefficient. Overturn the prosecution's claim. Court finds defendant Walkie-talkie
Guilty as balls. I'm just gonna go ahead and present this. Nope. I feel like we're getting close to the end of the trial, so... Thank good lordy lord. Why would the cell phone stop him? I feel like he wouldn't have paid attention and just ran the hell over it. That's really all that I can think about. Nope. Shit! Guilt. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Panties! Actually... That actually might be... That might be it, actually. Wait a minute. Yeah, because it was stuffed in the tailpipe. Fuck you, game. Let's see now. Panties! Again! All sorts of things come out of my panties. No. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid. In the Maractus Clinic garage. What? Snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin! So you were here investigating?
And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost.
Your hog?
My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe.
Too bad. Looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that.
Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust, and they won't run.
Aha. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these. That car wouldn't start. What? Is that a safety measure that's in newer cars, or... Because I distinctly remember a lot of people talking about, blocking the exhaust pipe. Actually, no, it's not that. I hate to bring up a really dark subject, but there are some people that'll flood the cabin of their car to end things, to say. But then I remembered, oh, no. It requires a hose, and then you bring it through the window of your car. Just do not try. Holy shit, do not try. That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Stop showing off. Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps up your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where am I? So dark. Can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning. What's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Walkie. You lied to me. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine. I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. No. He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. Cease this at once, you stickler! And there's the picture. And now the noodle stand makes perfect sense. Thwarted by panties. Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Too bad.
There's still one mystery. how did you manage to disappear from that stand?
In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running.
I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police.
Which is when I made my escape.
Which is when you left that slipper print.
Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though.
That was your mistake.
No. My biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Walkie declared guilty, it was you.
Well, thanks! I appreciate the vote of confidence. I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing?
She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now.
Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost.
I think he already knew.
Probably.
He'd figured out she was the killer a while ago.
I figured that out quite a while ago. Jeez.
Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you learned over the past 2 days.
He lost. But they didn't exactly win either.
Is something the matter? Air forehead?
Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty!
Please stop doing crimes, you shitbag.
Court is adjourned.
All right. 4:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Great job, Apollo! You did it!
Yeah, we did. Somehow.
Walkie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. Hope not. Again. And he has you to thank.
Hey, attorney man. Oh,
you're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita Holmes! Or to blame, I guess.
You give my Alita back? Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish? Enough, Walkie!
Hello?
Mr. Kataki. It's high time you open your eyes, Walkie. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you open yours. Giving up the life trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out.
If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending?
Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Walkie. Walkie, Apollo has something to tell you.
No, I do.
Way to put me on the spot. Yeah, way to put me on the spot, definitely. Here, I'm going to save real quick. I'm still not entirely sure what exactly it is they need to be spending a whole lot of money on. Was it? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why Mr. Kataki's trying to become a businessman. Pennies. No. Why would he be? Well, they have been doing a whole lot of crime as of late. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think back. I mean, the biggest thing, I think, why they would want to be doing good business, I guess, like, to try and save Walkie, I suppose. That'd be the first thing, because they need to find a hospital and they need clean money real fast, real good. That's the only thing I could possibly think, and that's the only thing that I think would give the most weight. And I guess it would be this, considering this would be the first time he had heard about this. Think about it, Walkie. Think about your condition. Yeah, I talked with your mother, a little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you...
I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie. But it's an expensive procedure.
Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you?
I won't use it.
W-
It was the gangster life that did this to you, Wookie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean.
Ah. So nice.
Please understand, Wookie.
Dad. Don't get too emotional. That bullet could cave into your heart at any time. Man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for... Walkie? Listen, good old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out, and then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. Jesus. My, Walkie.
No, it is as it should be.
Mr. Kataki? I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes.
I am glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words. But I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you.
Who, me? I don't think it.
Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest. The Kentucky lime pie.
What? Oh, so they're going into pies. He's opening a pie shop? Yeah.
So long.
Goodbye, Mobster Man. And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. Yeah, try and brush off all the possible mob connections we have now. To the Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? Oh, make a good team. Don't just stand there. Let's get going. Why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Psycho! Like this power of mine that she showed me. Crazy. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Although I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. You have to go someplace first. Where? Why, to claim our reward for Mr. Oh, my God. No, I've dealt with enough salty people today. I don't need noodles. Ah, salty noodles. Right. You gotta stand back already. Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat.
Oh, it's special, alright.
Please. Anything but him. Ah, yes. And the end is cut off by the corner of the screen. Oh, well. For the most part, the entire game, nothing is cut off in that corner from what I could tell. I mean, what's nice is that the framing of all the stuff on the screen is framed up to where it would have been on the DS screen. Because they're kind of stuck at those margins. So for the most part, that corner of the screen can be covered by the lower screen. If you know what I mean. Anyways. I'm a save. And the next one is Turnabout Serenade. Ooh, neato. You know what? We have been going for about 2 hours here, and we've kind of wrapped this up, so I kind of want to jump into Turnabout Serenade next week. Except, I think that next one, I'm going to try and make it a little bit longer. Because the last couple of times that I've streamed here, I cut up the investigation stuff and this trial stuff, like, completely separately. I don't know. I kind of want to go for a little more of a long haul Apollo Justice episode next time. I don't know. We will see. I'm going to see whether or not we can do that next time. But I think that'll do it for the stream tonight since I got some plans and I'm actually doing some stuff tomorrow. So I need to get going and I need to start wrapping stuff up. So thanks everybody for popping into the chat just to say hello, make jokes. I appreciate it. If you wanted to take a look at this episode after it's done, I'm going to be going in and doing some very light edits to get rid of a lot of the stuff where I was getting stuck. Or, cut it down so it's easier to digest. And then I'll be uploading it to the YouTube channel afterwards. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. The other games I'm currently playing. Well, I'm in the middle of this game, obviously. I I'm thinking tomorrow I kind of want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, since I don't know, ever since I jumped back in for the DLC, I've really had a Jones on to do it. Though it's a shame I don't have a good platform to post it up without having the content ID, which is come down and snatch me. What else? Well, random roguelikes. So there's like Dead Cells, Binding of Isaac, all that stuff. Stardew Valley as well, since I've been playing that since the release on the Switch has kind of revitalized a lot of people's interest in it, including mine. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it. I'm going to move on here. So, yay. So editing's time. See you later, everybody.